To understand how much Gemini charges to buy Bitcoin, it is essential to know the fees associated with this cryptocurrency exchange. Gemini is a well-established and reputable platform that allows users to buy, sell, and store various cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. The fees charged by Gemini depend on the type of transaction and the payment method used. For example, if you are using a bank transfer to buy Bitcoin, the transaction fee is relatively low, typically ranging from 0.5 to 1.5% of the transaction amount. However, if you use a debit card to make the purchase, the fees can be significantly higher, often around 3.49% of the transaction amount. Another factor that affects the fees is the type of account you have with Gemini. The exchange offers two main types of accounts: individual and institutional. Individual accounts are designed for personal use, while institutional accounts are for businesses and organizations. The fees for these accounts vary, with institutional accounts typically having lower fees due to the larger transaction volumes. In addition to the transaction fees, Gemini also charges a convenience fee for certain types of transactions. This fee is typically a flat rate or a percentage of the transaction amount and is used to cover the costs associated with processing the transaction. To give you a better idea of the fees, let's consider a practical example. If you want to buy 1 Bitcoin using a bank transfer, the transaction fee would be around 0.5 to 1.5% of the transaction amount. Based on the current price of Bitcoin, this would translate to a fee of around $50 to $150. However, if you use a debit card to make the purchase, the fee would be around 3.49%, which would be around $349. To minimize the fees when buying Bitcoin on Gemini, it is essential to understand the fee structure and choose the most cost-effective payment method. Using a bank transfer is generally the cheapest option, while debit cards are more expensive. It is also crucial to consider the type of account you have and the volume of your transactions, as these factors can significantly impact the fees you pay. In conclusion, Gemini charges various fees for buying Bitcoin, depending on the payment method and type of account. By understanding the fee structure and choosing the most cost-effective options, you can minimize the fees and get the most out of your cryptocurrency transactions. It is always a good idea to check the Gemini website for the most up-to-date information on fees, and to carefully review the terms and conditions before making a transaction.